Hey everybody, time for the Wonder of Christmas devotion. Today's topic is gifts. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Matthew 2:11. The word gifts is the centerpiece of an interesting sentence in Matthew's account of the Magi's adoration of the Christ child. The Greek word is dora, which carries some emphasis of the freedom of the giver. A gift is not a payment or a bribe, but a free expression of love, or in this case, worship. This word appears in Ephesians 2:8, describing salvation as a gift of God, not earned by religious works. By the way, a different word, charismata, is used for spiritual gifts. Even more fittingly, we often see dora used for offerings brought to the temple. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus mentions a case of someone bringing a gift, doron, to the altar, Matthew 5:23. This might be a bird or animal or some grain or incense offered as a sacrifice on the altar. But in Jesus' time, there were collection boxes positioned in the temple courtyard where people could also give money. The collection box was called a treasury. Word lovers will adore the fact that the Greek word for treasury is thesaurus. Perhaps you have used a thesaurus or a thesaurus command on your computer to access a treasury of words with similar meanings. That's just the Latin spelling of the Greek word used for the collection box in the temple or for the treasure chest from which the Magi pulled out gold, frankincense, and myrrh. That's right, they opened their thesaurus and presented Jesus with gifts. Maybe each gift had its own protective box, we don't know, but Matthew's language speaks volumes about what's going on in the scene. Normally people would come to the temple, God's house, and put gifts, dora, into the collection boxes, thesaurus, as part of their worship. Here the Magi come to a house, 2:11, to worship the Christ child. They present gifts, dora, from out of their treasure boxes, thesaurus. The message, this child is the rightful recipient of people's offerings and worship. The gifts were expensive. Gold, as you know, was a precious metal and still is, not something working class people saw much of. Frankincense and myrrh were aromatic substances produced from the gum of specific trees. We find both these products mentioned in Song of Songs. Who is this sweeping in from the wilderness like a cloud of smoke? Who is it fragrant with myrrh and frankincense and every kind of spice? Look, it is Solomon's carriage, 3:6-7. Who but the wealthy king could afford to import myrrh and frankincense? We might take a lesson from this. The gifts offered to the Christ child were fit for kings. These were the house gifts one brought to a royal court on regal occasions. The wise men probably expected to counter a king on a throne, and they presented these expensive gifts. David and Barbara Lehman make the connection to us today. Christmas gifts remain a holiday custom, but at some point our gifts change from gifts to God and to gifts to one another. Giving one another gifts at Christmas is not wrong, but the question should be asked, what are you giving to God in your Christmas worship? One Christmas hymn beautifully answers this question. Brightest and best of the stars of the morning recounts the wise men's gifts. Shall we yield him in costly devotion, rarest of fragrance, tribute divine, gems of the mountain and pearls of the ocean, myrrh from the forest and gold from the mine? But the hymn soon observes how inadequate those gifts are and comes to the understanding that richer by far is the heart's adoration. The only gift of real worth to God is ourselves. Preparing for Christmas. Remember that God's whole plan for our salvation is for the purpose of being close to us. He desires communion with you. So think about this. In this Christmas season, your gift to God might just be your presence, some time spent with God each day. Maybe, just maybe, you could put that under the tree. Lord, this Christmas I offer to you the only gift I have that's of value to you, myself. I wish to spend time with you in conversation and communion each day. And then it has a little tidbit that says, some scholars note that Arabia is home to the trees that produce frankincense and myrrh, and thus the Magi must have come from there. Maybe, but trade was common in the ancient world. Even in Babylon or Persia, the Magi would have had access to traders, importing all sorts of treasures from all sorts of places. Frankincense and myrrh were expensive, like gold, but that was appropriate for a newborn king. Still, the Arabian theory would make the Magi an obvious fulfillment of Isaiah 66. The people of Sheba in Arabia will bring gold and frankincense and will come worshiping the Lord. And that is it. I ask you to please pray for me, as these last couple of days, this pain of mine is just not good. I didn't sleep last night until a little bit this morning, and what happened to my bookmark? Oh, there it is. It's just really bad. I can hardly move, and I don't know what's going on. So just please pray for relief and for it to go away. I've been dealing with sinuses or allergies. Continue to pray for our finances. Continue to pray for my friend Shannon. She's still she's in her vitals were dropping a lot last night, and because the pain meds that they're giving her, something about that I forget, but they had to take her off the pain meds for now until they get it figured out, so she's in a lot of pain. So pray that she's able to get back on those soon, and for relief for her, for her recovery, divine healing. I hope these devotions are something you're liking, that they're speaking to you. Look at Benji over there. Benji. Hey. Benji. All right, guys. Take care. Love you.